Hey, I'm Kev and welcome to France and the next round of the MX2 World Championship as the Hammer, the Hillman, has been dominating the championship. So hoping to continue it, of course, here in France. We're going on continue our European adventure. And this is a track which I've actually driven before, as this was the first track I drove in online as Montessetti's down, and oh, we land on the Brit! As you can see, riding around it before has given me good practice of where to land. But again, it's a very hilly circuit. But it's got an intermediate surface, so it should be a bit nicer. We shouldn't be seeing the calamity corner that we saw in Spain. But still, it's got loads of crests, loads of jumps, some blind corners, uphill, downhill, as you see. It's a bit more reminiscent of Italy than Spain, I would say. But yeah, this is where I rode my first online race in this game. Didn't do very well. And that's probably showing on this qualifying effort, as I don't think the Hammer will be right at the front this time around, like he was in Spain and Italy. But we had a fantastic first race in Spain. Great battling. And oh, we're down again. Just as I say, this track is a bit lenient compared to Spain. It has that section in the middle part of that. We've got to be very careful of that. As you see, very easy to fall. As we now have a bit of breathing space here before we go uphill. Get into that corner horribly. But yeah, in Spain, first race fantastic. Second race, unfortunately, due to so many issues for everyone. How do I get back? This is definitely not going to be a top qualifying effort. Best time, 36. We'll be lucky to be in the 40s, I think. And yeah, we're going to be in the 50s, but just hopefully be better in the race. So we're under 20 seconds behind. And then we celebrate by crashing. But yeah, in the second race in Spain, unfortunately, you had the calamity corner. Kind of eased it up in the second race. So I made it a bit easier in that second race. But in the first race, we're going to have a job to do in France as the Swiss rider takes the pole ahead of Herlings with the Brit in third. Our French rival in fourth, our rival for his home race as well. And we've got to score 47 points. High total 14, but that's what we achieved last time out, so we'll see if we can do it this time. It's Covington 5th, Owen in 6th, Tonkoff 7th. Our teammate in 8th, good qualifying from him. And of Bogues, Petrov, Fernandez in his home race. And we also got a home rider on the Honda as well in 19th, as we're last by a country mile. So qualifying didn't go as expected, I would say. Let's see if we can do better in the race. As here we are preparing on the outside here. As Bogues gets the TV time. So we are alongside a couple of the Italians on, I believe, the Haspanas. So we have it up. Get a decent start as well. Look at this, we're in the mid-pack. Then it gets tight into this first corner. We're keeping it round the outside, up into 16th. And oh, too much braking though. Into that left-hander. Again, braking too much in a couple of corners. They've bashed their way up into 14, looking at a top 10 on this first lap. Didn't expect this so soon. It's ahead of the Swiss rider. He had a horrible start again on the Suzuki. As we're bashing with our teammate. He's outside the top 10. Well, we're in it now. Look at that massive jump. Allowing us to get into 6th. And there is the top 5 right in front. I'd hoped it'd give me better in the race. I didn't expect to start like this though. As we're battling with Covington, and I believe that Bogues in front, the Dutchman. So taking the inside line though. Oh, just about staying on the track. Saints again to the advertising audience. Using old tactics from Spain. And oh, so that was Osland, the Swede. We just bashed in front of, and we managed to get top 5 ahead of Bogues. Going slightly wide though. And that's allowed the Swede, or is that Honus, and the KTM in front. So here we go to that section. which called us out in qualifying massively. But we survive it this time around. You can see how tricky it is. Oh, as we get into someone again. Bashing handlebars with him. Gonna be exchanging phone numbers soon. As let's go downhill. Just about going downhill. In sit. Just allowed the KTM on our inside. You can see very difficult braking there into the right hander. That's allowed Covenant to have a nip around our outside. You hold on from the American. It's heavy braking zones all around here. This may be as tough as Spain. I'll take it back what I was saying in qualifying. So how difficult qualifying was. Actually more difficult with the ruts as well. We land on the inside of the KTM, down in 7th. Not going to achieve our points total being there, so let's get up to 6th. Let's go to the outside line. Oh, that was a good momentum on the outside. But got slightly stuck as well in that rut, so we couldn't carry it all the way through the whole of the corner. So there's some flare game round here as well, as we kick up the dust going around this circuit. So back down to 6th. We can't make our way by. Look at this. Trying everything, it's not working. There's someone runs wide in front, up into 5th. That's what I normally do. It's taking the Hammer's line round that corner. Hammer won't be pleased. Or maybe he will be as he gave him position. You can see I put him right in front. It's, such a tight section in the middle part of that. Whoever invented that should be laughing manically in their chair at home. As we come into the last section of the lap now. Take that in 3rd, just about holding on to 5th. Again, Covington taking a net down our inside there. But not working out for the American. Hopefully it stays that way. As the Hammer goes for 4th. We're battling whole race along with that rider, but we finally get by into 4th. We can see the top 2 slightly getting away, so is 3rd from us. We cross the line with a 35.3. Decent enough for that time. But I do want to be in the 34s. So let's see if we can do that. It's slightly wide. Again hooking up that group, but again not carrying momentum out the corner. Quite how we would like. So we go into flare jump. Kicking up the dust up the hill. Fantastic effects. So that's a dive on Hurlins. Got kind of caught up with the Dutchman. We both survived to tell the tale. Just about. And we do take 3rd as the Brit runs wide in that corner. We take 3rd, but Hurlins got by both of us. Is that our French rival on home turf in the lead as well? Oh, the Hammer likes that prospect. Beating the Frenchman on his home ground as... we land on the board. And we got reset. And now a reset in chaos. As the Frenchman also ran wide there. Really held up. Guys in front. And look at that, top 3 all together. And we're leading the charge of a few riders. It's getting that corner so wide, but there's just that rut in the corner. You can't take that any faster. If you do, you're just going to fall. Let's get on the back of the Husqvarna in front. We've got a KTM, we've got a Yamaha, we've got a TM. We've got 4 manufacturers in the top 4. 4 title rivals as well. At least they would be if they were they were close to the Hammer. Let's see. He lands in front of the Brit, unlike in qualifying. Just about holds on to the bike and gets 3rd away from him. So he had to get down to 1st gear there to get some traction out that corner. The Brit almost landed on top of us there. So going through flare jump, using the advertising again to get around it on this penultimate lap. Still learning our best way around this track. As I said, I've driven this circuit before online. Still not very good around it. As you get past the Frenchman, the home crowd are not going to be happy about that. As Hammer takes 2nd. But how long can he hold on to it? Or can he take 1st? Right on the back of Hurlins. That time we slow it right down. And he takes the lead. And so he's got a bit out of shape there. He's sort of taking the jump on that tight corner when he perhaps shouldn't. And seeing why. Just lose some momentum. And now going to this fast corner, and Erling's down or inside. Wheel to wheel with the Dutch master. Oh, and the Hammer's having none of it, squeezing him out. He goes wide, and there's a Frenchman as well. We've got a three-way tussle for the win as we approach the final lap. And the Hammer's taken second, it looks like, from Erling's. And almost down there. As now we go on to the final lap of the race. The fastest lap there on the fourth lap. 35.4, and then we almost lose it immediately. The beginning of the next, that massive jump begins things. Would have thought that'd be in our favour, but just very tricky landing zone with all those ruts. Let's through flare jump. Definitely in the rhythm around this track now. So it goes wide there. Definitely not carrying momentum through that corner. That's better into that rut. Now we've got to brake before we go over the rise. Otherwise you're going to be just flying into Mexico or wherever. Going to be carrying speed into that corner. As Osland is down. The speed from a top 10 as well. Just when we thought he's over his crashing tendencies, he's gone down in the last couple of rounds. The Italian is down as well. Can be battling for last place like a hell in this final lap. Well, it's the opposite for the Hammer, as it may have been a very difficult qualifying, but he's found his rhythm in this race. He's just easing away, it looks like, from the rest of the field. Keeping a safe third gear there instead of second, so you don't spin up the wheels. As now we come into the final corner on this final lap. Not quite getting into the 34s, but a 35.5 to end things means another victory for the Hammer. Over Erling's, our French rival, in third. Bogeers in fourth. Good result for KTM. The Brit ran out the top 5 ahead of the South African. Great job from him. Ahead of owners. Fernandez in his home race. Atop Kawasaki in 8th. Tonkov 9th. The Belgium in 10th. Just ahead of Covington, who fell down in the second half of that race. Had a very good first half. And Osland in 12th. Where was our teammate? 15th. It's going to be crowded out in the midfield on the TM. But a fantastic result in the first race. Can we back it up in the second and take another overall? Let's look at all those skills at 69. As here we are preparing for the second race. Can we get a start like we had in the first one? Absolutely fantastic as Bogeers gets the TV time. And we're behind De Bortoli and Trepepe. And we did get another decent start. Let's look around the outside here. Look at that, in our own groove as the Brit takes the whole shot. Up into 14th already. We're landing on. Is that Petrov or Fernandez? I'm sorry, home crowd, if it's Fernandez. We've got a teammate right in front. Holding on to 14th, though. We've got the Swiss rider alongside. Another poor start on the Suzuki as we get past our teammate into the top 10. And it was Fernandez we landed on. God, I hope he can see straight. And it looks like he can for the time being as we're up to 8th now. And we're already making a challenge for the top 5. Down the inside of Bogeers. Virtually pushing us out the corner. What are you doing, you crazy Hillman? Probably thinking. As we are in 5th. And there is the top 4 right in front. Gonna get past his French rival already. He tries. Got a clip and went slightly wide. Got brake early into that right hand and then he muscles his way by. Once again, the home crowd must be in despair. As I got totally my corner wrong there. I was expecting it to be this one. There we go. And into us, and that's Erling's. The Hammer just taking out anyone with his bike. He's using it as a weapon. There's Trepepe's down. The Italian. on the Husqvarna. So we're in 4th on this first lap. I didn't think I could better what I did in the first race, but Hammer's definitely done that. So here we go over these jumps. Mounds to the rescue. It looks like the Brits trying to get away in the lead. So we're taking the outside line there. Probably should have taken the inside line to come to the end of this first lap. Now the massive jump. Will we land on someone? Not quite. The Hammer going a bit deep into that corner. And then pirouetting out of it. Like an ice skater there. As he tries to take third away from Herlings. The old gold of MX2. There's a new one now. His name is the Hammer. There's all the Brits dropped down to 2nd. Got a new leader. We're very wide. But still in the podium spots. And then, oh, hit the inside advertising hoarding. No! And we've basically got to restart our race from 9th. As all the advertising hoardings have been our friends in the previous few races, but not that time. So we're battling with the Kawasaki. And oh, definitely going to squeeze us out after we landed on in the first lap. Made no friends there with that manoeuvre as well. Someone's gone behind the advertising hoardings. The boy wasn't my friend, but I guess we got off lightly compared to that rider. So we're in 9th on this second lap. Going to be a battle to get back onto the podium. So a couple of corners behind, around 5 seconds behind. But there's one thing Hammer doesn't do is give up. As he goes downhill into the right-hander. Alongside is that Fernandez. You can do his outside, but the Frenchman has the cutback. Look at that, 42. Compared to 35 on the opening lap. As we get past the Belgian rider as well. Looking to the outside of Bogers as well for 6th. Not happening, so we're making some moves early on. As we virtually land on top of the KTM, really in there. Is that Covington in the top 5? The American, good race from him. As we're around half. Oh, look at that move from Bogus as we went down the inside of Covington. Tried to go down the inside of us. In the end, he's somehow lost out in all of that. And it's still status quo as we actually no, we're up to 6th now. No, that is Covington down. So is that the Brit? Petrov down as well for 9th. It was actually Petrov who were back then, not home. Whoa. Not the Frenchman. As he got that section totally out of order. Went jumping there. You can see what happens when you carry too much speed into these sections. Really got to manage the throttle. You come to the end of this third lap. In set. I'll just take the top 5 at the moment. But I can't decide, of course, it's the Hammer who decides. Go down here, you can see it's a bit spread out in front as well. Got 4th, and then there's a bit of a gap as he takes 5th there. Down the inside, nice move. We come to the penultimate lap of the race. Mid 35 there. And it's our French rival in for a disappointing home round for him. You expected much better. We'd expected wins around here. But it's just not happening for him. He's up into 4th. And now we've got to make up this gap as... Oh! He got into our rival there, literally. He just got stuck in that rut. Had no momentum. Goes slightly wide there, but we get the run out of the corner. And we're going down to 2nd too much here. Not carrying momentum through the corners. Braking too much as well. Massive jump there. Should probably scrub. So Osland is down behind the Swede again. As someone had an off in front. It looks like. So we could get a podium on this penultimate lap. Oh, it's so tricky. That uphill section of the track. And then you're followed by what looks like a very inviting wide open corner, but as I say, just no grip there. That rut right in the middle of the corner. So it looks like we've got Herdings right in front. Second and first have gone away. Let's see if we can get on the podium. No. You can see them on my left hand side going up the hill. So now we go down the hill, take the massive jump, going on to the final lap of the race of 34.2. I told you the hammer doesn't give up. Almost into the 33s. Going up the hill, he takes back that podium place. As he goes into the wide rut there. Pretty clumsy, not carrying momentum through that corner, but it works out. There we go, that's much better. Into flare jump. So on this final lap, he's charging. But he won't be charging if he keeps doing that. Braking for the inside rut and then just skidding across it. And up the hill. Oh, much better. No real braking then. Just got it down to second and they'd slowed down enough already. So we're skipping the banks. The hoardings. He's charging with everything, with all his might. Oh, Jonas is down the Latvian. It's just not his year, is it? I've been looking so good in MXGP2. And the South African is down after a fantastic first race. He's not going to repeat the job in the second race. Oh, my teammate's down as well. Catastrophe in the middle part of the lap. Those behind us, we're charging for second and oh, we're down. Look at the inside bank. You can barely see it, but we're down. After charging for a second, and it's like we won't even get a podium spot. Just 2 corners remaining. He's going to have to do a dive into this left-hander. Tonkov wins. Not the Yamaha the home crowd would have wanted. As Hammer takes a podium, muscling his way by Herdings. Showing the changing of the guard perhaps here in MX2 as well. As the Brit was second, but look at that impressive performance from the Russian. With the other Yamaha, the French, the home hero in 5th. With his fellow Frenchman Fernandez top Kawasaki in 9th ahead of his teammate Petrov. With Bogier sit, the Belgian in the Yamaha in 7th. Good round for Yamaha then, with 3 of the top 7. And Jonas in 8th despite that late fall in the KTM. Where's my teammate? 13th, just ahead of Osland. So we got the overall in the end. We got 2 podiums in the end as well. Very tricky second race compared to the first one. Herdings in second and the Brit in third. And Tonkov with that win up into 4th. And the overall just 1 point ahead of his teammate. Well, in the championship, 79 points is the lead now. With Herdings 108 points back. The Brit 160 points back. It really is only the top 3 that compete maybe for this title. With Bogiers running out the top 5 ahead of Tonkov. With Jonas 7th, coming to 8th. The Swiss rider in 9th on the Suzuki, just 1 point ahead of my teammate. He's just 5 points ahead of Monticelli, and then you've got the Belgium in 12th. Look at Kawasaki down in 13th and 14th. In the stands, very disappointing for Petrov and Fernandez. With Osland in 15th, perhaps not reflecting his pace with all those falls that he gets as well. The only Honda in 19th of the other home heroes. So, fantastic round once again. Yeah, we didn't quite get the result we wanted in the second race, but another race where he just took points out of the opposition and just built that lead. Did the Hammer. It's definitely looking like his championship, but can he continue the charge next time out? Thanks for watching, and I will see you then.